Hello, I'm Mike and welcome to Camden Garden Centre. I'm going to give you some help with some gardening advice. What you'll need is the plant, and this is a peace lily. Its botanical name is Spathiphyllum, and it's a plant that's grown for its attractive white flowers. It's a very easy plant to grow and it's quite tolerant of shady conditions. And the nice thing about peace lilies is they produce flowers all year round. So that's the plant. I've also got a pair of secateurs to take off some damaged leaves and old flowers that have died. I've got some plant food. I've got some water to mist the leaves of the plant with, and I've got an insecticide. First of all, let me clean up the plant. As you can see, there's a dead flower here, and I'm going to remove that completely now with a pair of secateurs and cutting as near to the base as you can. And any other dead bits on the plant you need to remove. There's a leaf here that's been damaged. That's probably water that was spilt onto the plant and left standing for hours on the leaf, and it's damaged the leaf. So I need to remove that completely as well. And here's another one as well. So I need to remove that completely too. The plants need to be fed, and the plant food that I'm going to use is a controlled release plant food tablet. This is a complete food feed, and if you notice on the packet here, this feeds for up to 6 months. You don't need to feed houseplants in the winter months because they're resting. So in fact, although this only feeds for 6 months, in effect it covers the feeding for an entire year. So if you apply these tablets in April time, that's all the feeding taken care of for the year. If you look on the back of the packet, it says here how many plant tablets to use depending on the diameter of the pots. Now in this case, this pot's about 15 centimetres across, 15 to 20 I would say. So I'm going to use 2 tablets in this case. Now as you can see, these pellets are brown and the fertiliser inside is white, and this brown coating on the fertiliser lets water pass inside it, and then when the water's passed inside it, it dissolves the fertiliser, and the fertiliser then leaches out from the tablet and feeds the entire root ball of the plant. They're very easy to use. All you do is make a hole in the compost with your finger, push the pellet down there about 1 inch, and then cover the pellet up with compost. And I'm going to put another one on the opposite side of the container. And there we go, that's the feeding taken care of. Now, every time this plant is watered, water will pass over those pellets and it will distribute the fertilisers throughout the entire root zone of the plant, and that will keep the plant happy, healthy and strong. When you're watering houseplants, it's important to put sufficient water on to wet the entire root bowl. Don't just put a little bit of water on, you need to put sufficient water on it to drain right the way through. So, have to keep stopping to let the water pass into the compost. And when I hear water dripping out of the bottom of the pots, then I know it's had enough water. And now water is draining out of the drainage holes, as you can see. You need to let all that surplus water drain out before replacing this plant on its saucer on the living room window ledge. Spathiphyllums are shade-tolerant plants, so they don't appreciate being put in hot, sunny places. You need a fairly shady window ledge for a spathiphyllum. They appreciate not only being fed and watered, but they appreciate their leaves being misted with water. And this is just a simple misting bottle, and all I'm going to do is just completely mist the plant, particularly aim for the undersides of the leaves, because the plant really appreciates that. And if you can, use pure water. If you've got a rainwater butt, then use the water from that, because that's pure. If not, then maybe use bottled water. Here in London, our mains tap water contains quite a lot of limescale, and it can leave an unpleasant deposit on the surface of the leaf. By misting like this as well, you'll discourage a pest that attacks these plants called red spider mite. Red spider mite is just about visible to the naked eye, and it lives on the undersurface of the leaves. Red spider mite thrives in hot, dry conditions, and by misting the leaves regularly like this, it discourages red spider mites from getting a hold of the plant. If you do get an attack of red spider mite, then you need to use an insecticide, and here we have an organic insecticide, and as you see on the label here, red spider mite is one of the things it controls. And just in the same way that I use the sprayer, you need to target the underside of the leaves. It's probably better to do this outdoors and leave the plant in a shady area until the insecticide has dried on the leaves. So, very easy houseplants to grow, peace lilies. If you've not grown houseplants before, this is a good one to get you started. Just remember all these different tips that I've given you, and to keep it in a shady position indoors.